Sean Wieda coming to you here with a beautiful new creation out of Kilgore, Texas. I got the brand new 2026 Skeeter ZXE. Now we all know that the Skeeter ZXR is one of the most popular selling bass boats in the market today. Skeeter really kind of pioneered the package type boat in 2015 when they came out with the ZXE20 and ZXE250, a nationally advertised price boat, packaged with good options. They've continued that program very successfully now for almost 10 years. The ZXRs were a great boat, but they said, hey, what can we improve on the ZXR? We made some of those changes to the ZXE. Let's check it out. Make sure, like and subscribe, and we'll keep plenty of these boat content videos coming your way. So I'll actually start on the front of this boat. This boat is actually going to be one of our demos. This is going to be my service manager's demo boat. So if you're looking to buy this boat, understand I have a duplicate of this ready for sale. It's not this exact boat. This one will not be for sale for a year from now. So it has some custom rigging. We're a big fan of Van Foster's Bass Boat Technology products. So we have upgraded the Skeeter bow mount to a BBT mount, but I almost, if you want to kind of make a note of something, Skeeter's doing a great job with their factory mounts. It's just our boats will typically run Vans mounts. This boat, we went with a dual setup. We actually upgraded to an Explorer 12. We left the standard Explorer 9. You know, at Wieda's Marine, we always try to test products. So my service manager wanted to check out the new Mega Live 2, so he's gonna run that for us. So back to the boat and what's new. Let's check this out from this angle. The trolling motor the whole bow here has been refreshed, okay? This area here is larger. We've got a better step, an easier line of step in and out of the boat, which is nice whether we're getting in and out of the dock, retrieving a snag, or sight fishing for those of us that are agile enough and have cat-like reflexes enough to pounce onto the front deck and stand there looking like a bird of prey, looking at a bass on a bed. You've got a nice little pad to get in and out of the boat and do it. But the big news here is look at the trolling motor orientation. So almost all bass boats, we've typically had a typical orientation. The trolling motor is mounted at an angle. The head of the trolling motor hangs over the gunnel. It creates problems with your cover. It creates problems in locks. It creates problems in docks, okay? A lot of trolling motor heads getting torn up. Skeeter has changed the angle of the trolling motor. I know this may not seem like a significant improvement, but I will guarantee you, to me, it's a very significant improvement. Number one, this trolling motor, when it's in the down position, is going to be pulling straight into bracket, not at an angle. We're going to get less twists and turns and sounds. Number two, when you come back here, see where the rods are? So your rod straps on a 20-footer, you don't typically have this problem as much on the 21. The handles were always getting up into here, and this bounce buster was coming down and smashing handles and getting in your way. By changing the angle of the trolling motor here, we freed this up and we got a little more room for our rods. You'll also notice that this piece here, this triangular shaped piece, typically in a Skeeter has been fiberglass, and we've often wondered why. Well, Skeeter actually has gone in and carpeted this, but you'll also see a big change with this angle on the lid. The idea behind this is when we open this lid up, that we've got this little cutout here so our rods have a little place to go, okay? Without having the rod straps on the rod locker, which I don't understand, folks, not cutting down what they've done. This is an awesome idea. I don't understand why they're not putting the rod straps on the rod locker. Skeeter, please do that for us. But you've done the next best thing, and the idea does work. And I know why they don't do that. The reason they don't is they're afraid the rods are going to intrude back too far into the co-angler station. While we're talking co-angler station, Skeeter has made some improvements. We now have a 4-tiered rod ramp. This is going to allow us to get the butts of the rods up higher, which will keep the angle less so we don't have as many rods up in the air. We've redesigned this glove box. I think we're now able to kind of see in this. This has always been a bottomless pit, and now we can access this. It's got more of an angle. We can see in there. It's got a big lid, looks nice. Slam latches. You'll notice when I open that rod locker up, we've got slam latches now standard on the Skeeter. And this, of course, gives way to this cavernous rod locker. Got lots of room in that Skeeter rod locker. Mega tubes in there, so we can put a ton of rods in there. I think Skeeter really has the best rod box on the market. And maybe I'm biased because I fish out of a Skeeter, but I just feel that I can put more rods in there, access them more, and I really think that they do a great job for a busy rod locker. Now, some of you all might not keep more than 10 or 15 rods in there, and any boat's gonna do that. Some of us, we travel. I travel and set up in Florida in the winter, and I got all my rods for the whole winter in there. I put 30, 40 rods in there. I may not keep them all in there all the time, but at least I've got them in there. We'll see this top cap's a little different, and that might be hard to see in the video, but we definitely have a new top cap. We have some different, more of a, instead of a rounded, we've got some more sharper angles on here. I don't know if this provides more strength or it's simply cosmetic, but we'll learn more about that going forward. Overall, the look of the boat is very similar. I've had some people reach out to me and ask about performance, so I won't make something up that I don't know. I haven't driven these yet, folks. This is very early pre-season. We're just now getting these boats in. This will be a demo. It's rigged. We've got it ready, and I'll be taking it to the water soon and running it. We anticipate the same performance as the previous ZXR. We don't think there's any difference in the bottom. If anyone has one, tell us in the comments below, but we're gonna take it out on the water and find out for sure for you. Back deck, the back compartments in this boat, okay? I think these have gotta be at least 30% bigger, okay? We've got a lot bigger back compartments, and that is important for many of us because a lot of us, including myself, I keep a lot of my totes of plastics back here. I like to keep the weight in the back of the Skeeter for performance reasons. So the bigger back compartment, it definitely works for me for my tackle system. And we can also see that we do have slam latches, okay? Now, one thing of note, so no one gets confused here, we're gonna go talk about the front deck in a minute. The back deck is still what we are used to. It's the aluminum deck grid system, okay? It's kind of a hybrid because we've now gone to a fiberglass deck system in the bow. I don't know the logic behind having it in the front and not in the back, but I'm sure the engineers have a good reason. The splash well here is redesigned, and I definitely think this sharper, more of a vertical angle here looks nicer. We've now moved the battery charger cord to the back of the boat. If you remember on the previous FXR, ZXRs, it was located up next to the passenger console, so, or the driver's console rather. So I don't know what I think about this. This is more conventional. I've actually liked where it was before, but I think a lot of people, the way the garages are set up, are probably gonna appreciate that. We've got 30% more room in the battery compartment, so we have room. This boat here we've rigged with 5 conventional AGM and lead acid batteries, and we've got plenty of room in this battery compartment to accommodate all that and the 2 Raptor pumps. Of course, these boats come with Minn Kota precision chargers. Those are the best chargers on the market. I'm usually not a big product, plugging one brand of product over the other, but I've been around, and that's from someone in 27 years in the business. The Minn Kota makes the most reliable battery charger. I don't think anything else is close. Raptors are standard on this package. The hydraulic jack plate is an option, okay? We do highly recommend that for many of you though. Helps not only with shallow water clearance, but with performance. Livewells, we won't go into much detail. The Livewells are about the same. The cooler's the same, but I will tell you that a cooler in a Skeeter, you can fit a 20-pound bag of ice and all your drinks. You can't do that with hardly anybody's boat. So just so I'm clear, I can go to the gas station, get the large bag of ice, put 15 to 20 drinks in there, dump that ice in there. I'm not getting any warm drinks, but more importantly, I've always got big fresh chunks of ice that I can get in there and put in my live well. Fish care is very important. Skeeter's gonna help you take care of your fish on these hot days. Now, not only are we gonna help you take care of your fish, but you know, all the Skeeters do come with a vent system. So even on this price-conscious ZXR model, we have a little switch with a fan on. We're gonna switch that on, and that's gonna blow air through all of our compartments, and there's even a vent down here that's gonna blow on the floor. Anyone who fishes on a rainy day knows, I don't care what brand of boat you have, you're always gonna have a little moisture, you're always gonna have a little bit of water work its way into your compartments, and by running that fan, we're gonna keep mildew down, we're gonna keep mold down. That should be a feature that's on every boat. To me, it's a must-have feature. Again, the dash here, we've got the factory standard Explorer 12. We did upgrade this to Van Foster's BBT mount. The switches have been moved up here to the higher position, and we've got our jack plate gauge here in a very good visible position. One thing we should note is the floor. That we've really opened the floor space up in the Skeeter, and we've done a 2-tier step. Skeeter's done a great job here. They got rid of these cup holders in front of the cooler, and I didn't like those. Those were a trip hazard. We've now got a great place. It's easy to get up in the front of the boat. Great for someone who is either in a hurry, that's moving quickly from the front to the back, or maybe someone older that's moving slower, that helps them nice step up to the deck. All right, so the center compartment, we'll see, we have eliminated the aluminum deck grid system on the front. We've gone to a conventional fiberglass deck. Now, what Skeeter tells us is this is gonna help with any water intrusion. It's got deep channels that it's gonna allow the water to run, and we hope to eliminate any issues we've had in the past with watertight compartment. What I noticed also, the byproduct of this is we've gotten rid of the jack stands that are inside the compartment, and so we've got a little more room down the sides, and it looks like we've got quite a bit of room in the front here. So I don't know what to say, but I would call that 25% more storage. Even though the compartment, I think, is physically the same size, we've got more storage inside that. Of course, Skeeter puts foam underneath all their lids, and again, this is something I don't understand why every manufacturer doesn't do. The foam helps cut down on condensation, but something that's never talked about in fishing nowadays is the element of stealth. Any of us that fish shallow water a lot can understand, just like from Grandpa telling us not to slam the lids on the boat, when you can put something underneath these lids that help quiet you down when you walk around on them. No one ever talks about that. I've never heard anyone else in another video. To me, I'm more stealthy and I am more quiet when I'm fishing out of my Skeeter than other brands of boats. Also helps with any of that unwanted condensation and sweat that forms on aluminum lids. While I've got this lid open though, let's look in here. We've got a huge day box. This day box is twice or 3 times the size before. Awesome place. You know, we've got some a battery switch and spare prop and stuff in here that we're putting in here for Marty. But at the end of the day, you've got all the room to put your plastics, hang spinner baits. Awesome feature, and we've got a great access in here to wiring, and we've even got a little bit more additional storage in there. Again, slam latches on everything. Over here, we have a duplicate rod locker, starboard side rod locker, and even with this day box, we still got room. You know, we've got all these butt seats and stuff to put together still. The boat comes, by the way, with, you can see in there, it comes with 2 butt seats. The fishing seat is optional. But we've got plenty of room, and everything's slam latch. Everything's slam latch. Still got our good rod stays, buckles, but we've got a little bit more room up here. So, I don't know, folks. What I see is we've taken a very well-selling, well-received model, the ZXR. We've made some very nice cosmetic and functional changes to the boat, you know. A lot of times we do a new boat video, I'll hear people say, well, that's nothing special. Well, remember, folks, they're making these boats better and better every year. You can't always reinvent the wheel, and if you look at some of our best boat companies, they'll take a proven hull, they'll make subtle changes to that boat that improve. What's the highlights of this year? Again, we've got better rod strap, we've got a better situation for the bow. This video does not highlight Skeeter's new bow panel that you can watch in my previous video that we did on the ZXE21. They've got awesome factory bow panels. Trolling motor been relocated, the floor's been opened up, better glove box, slam latches on the deck, fiberglass deck, new top cap, performance to be determined, but we'll get this on the water soon and let you know, hey, Wieda's Marine is your home for Skeeter boats. I have at least one of every color option, ZXE20 and ZXE21 on order, and if you don't see the one you want, call that number 859-647-BOAT. We'll make sure to get you one on order. We love trade-ins. We can do financing. Do a whole transaction completely remote, ship this boat to your house, give us a shout, 859-647-BOAT.